Hey, what's happening? I'm Stephen Robb. I'm a writer for SpartanAvenue.com. And what did I just spend several hours watching on Saturday morning? Or it was 11 o'clock here when the game tip-off. But, that morning to afternoon, it was one of the worst displays of offensive football I think I've ever seen in my entire life. And that was the Michigan State at Nebraska game. This was a game that really had written all over it, potential upset. I did pick Michigan State to beat Nebraska. However, though, Nebraska seemed like a team that was rising at the time. And also, Michigan State's offensive woes were just mounting and mounting and mounting. Mark Dantonio, earlier last week, was alluding to the fact that Lewerke could start still, and, maybe not Lombardi. And then Lombardi got the start. And for the most part, I thought Lombardi did okay. I thought there were some passes where he zinged that ball in there and the tight ends dropped it. Or the wide receiver dropped it. And the ball, literally, the ball was like right in between the numbers and it was dropped. It was amazing. There was a lot of plays. Cody White even had a drop there. The ever sure-handed Cody White. And yes, you could chalk it up to the snow flurries, or you could chalk it up to the fact that it was the wind or whatever it was. The conditions weren't terrible. Really, players have to make plays. And big games, if Michigan State was going to compete and go to a really nice bowl game, then they were going to need to win this game. And it couldn't just be on the backs of the defense, which has really done a tremendous job. I will say, when the defense is aggressive, that's when I see opposing offenses really struggle. When our defense, as if I play defense, but when Michigan State's defense does, kind of sits back, doesn't rush, doesn't blitz, you see an offense like Nebraska be able to pick apart even a good defense. But again, at the same time, on the other side of the token there is the fact that this defense has really been on the field an awful lot this season, and they've been asked to do a lot, more than what they normally should be doing. In fact, I even tweeted during the game that I thought Michigan State's defense was going to have to score in order for them to even win this game, and I still stand by that. They needed to score and help the offense out. However, though, those opportunities did not provide themselves there, at least late in the game. Early in the game, Nebraska had some fumbling issues. So here's a real question. Does Mark Dantonio fire Dave Warner? Probably needs to. But let's just think about, who is Mark Dantonio? He's Kirk Frenetz 2.0. That was who he wanted to build this program around, and that is who he really is. And when I say build a program around, he went to Iowa and talked to Frenetz before, after taking the Michigan State job, and he wanted to model Michigan State after the success that Iowa's had. Go figure, however you want to, compare the two there. Michigan State's had definitely more success than Iowa has. But he wanted to model Michigan State after what Kirk Ferentz has done there in Iowa. And he has done that. And he's had great success. That's why he's very stubborn in the ways, because he really is Kirk Ferentz. Maybe just a little bit more successful. What has Kirk Ferentz done? Surrounded himself with his sons. His sons are coaching. They believe one of them is the offensive coordinator there now. What has Mark Dantonio done? Surrounded himself with his boys. And you look at the complaints have been around, these offensive complaints have been around Michigan State for a long time. Don Treadwell, offense can't move the ball, they can't do this. Dan Roushner, what is the deal? And now Dave Warner. And I think Dantonio's hoping that Warner is going to evolve like Terrence Samuels. Terrence Samuels struggled in 2012. But then the next couple of years, you had Tony Lippett, who Big Ten Receiver of the Year, Aaron Burbridge, Big Ten Receiver of the Year, and all that talk about fire Samuels and all this has really died away, because it turns out he can actually coach and has done a fairly good job with the receivers. This talk also was about Pat Narduzzi early on in his career at Michigan State as the defensive coordinator. People were going, fire Narduzzi, they can't get a pass rush, they can't do this. But as time went on, Narduzzi got better. It became one of the top assistants, and then now a head coach at Pitt, and you see he's having a really good season this year, even though they had some tough early losses. Is Dave Warner any of those guys? No, he's not. He's Dave Warner. And, you know, some of this, it's going to all lay at the feet of Dantonio at the end of the day. And you can say maybe if they didn't have all these injuries, Warner's going to get a free pass because of all the injuries this year. Next season is going to be the season to decide, really, if he is going to, you know, if Dantonio is going to let him go. I don't think he's going to let him go after this year. He didn't do anything in 2016, and then they had 2017. 2018, I don't think he's still going to do it. So we're kind of stuck with him, and that's the way it is. I'm Stephen Robb, SpartanAvenue.com, and going to be writing about Rutgers this week. Should be a win. Maybe we shouldn't count our chickens before we're hatched at this time. All right, thanks so much. Go Green.